Record. Liddell, I'm glad you made it back. Okay. Yay, here we go. Well, happy Monday, everybody. It's October already. Boo. I'm so excited it's October. I love fall. So I'm really excited. We're going to get started with our guest right away. As soon as I heard Brandon talk about his 2 new elite distributors, I reached out to Holly right away because I heard Holly on the Elite Zoom and I just could feel your heart and your warmth. And I just resonated with you so quickly. And I just loved everything that you said. So I've been pestering her since she went to Croatia, before even asking her to be a guest on our call, because it's just always a great thing to learn from others. And we always learn from other people's journeys. So Holly, I would just, first of all, welcome. This is Elite Pro 7, Holly Thomet, you guys. And she is in Florida. And you just turned 50, the big 50 I saw.
Yeah, we're actually in Michigan. I wish I was in Florida.
Michigan.
Yes,
we're
right. Michigan. Oh my gosh, I would love to live in Florida.
I don't know what weather, Crystal.
Yeah, maybe
right?
not. Maybe not the last week. Maybe not.
Yes, yes. Well, happy belated birthday. That's a big one.
Thank you. Thank you. They actually surprised me early. My birthdays, I have 10 more days yet till it's official. So I'm savoring the last of my 40s here this week. So
yeah. That's awesome. Well, Holly, I would just love for you to start just by sharing with us kind of your background and if you've ever done network marketing and how LifeVantage came into your life. How were you introduced to it and why did you say yes?
Yeah, I'd love to share. First of all, thank you. You were never pestering me. I was absolutely flattered when you asked me. And I love that, you heard me on the call. I was like so nervous being my first elite call. I was like, holy smokes, this is pretty cool. So I'm glad that what I said actually, I don't know, that it touched you in some way. That means a lot. So yeah, no, I've never done this before in my life. So I had no idea what I was doing. I can take you on my journey a little bit. You want me just to, Tanya, you want me just to start from the beginning?
Yeah, whatever's on your heart, let it flow, girl.
Okay. First of all, I apologize that I look like I just got off the couch because actually I did. I had the first quiet night with my kids since I can remember. My husband was at fire meeting. I had no other calls. And I was like, we skipped out on karate with my son. And I was like, my daughter made dinner. I've literally enjoyed 2 hours of just sitting there doing nothing but sitting with my kiddos. And that was pretty cool. Then I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to look like a hot mess on this call, but I didn't think you guys would care. It's all good. So, no, so let me take you on a little journey and I'll try to be brief, but about 5 or 5.5 years ago, my best friend since 4th grade, that's our hashtag. Her name's Deanna. And we literally have a hashtag, best friend since 4th grade. She started to share some information with me along with another friend from high school, Stacy King. Some of you might know Stacy, some of you might not. She's a Pro 6. They started to kind of drip some information on me about LifeVantage and the company, knowing I was very much an advocate of natural health and wellness. But you guys, I'm a horse trainer. I'm a horse trainer of over 30 years and a homeschool mom. And as much as I love the idea of natural health, I already had a naturopath and a chiropractor. I had a cabinet full of supplements I was already taking. I did not want one more thing to take, nor was I ever going to do network marketing. I was never going to do that thing. So when they were sharing with me, I was I probably wasn't that nice because I was like, I don't need one more thing. I don't need to look at it. And I really didn't take it seriously for almost probably a year, I would say. And then I'll never forget one day I was in my driveway. I was on the phone with Deanna and I kept telling her how much I didn't need this. And we're healthy. We take care of ourselves. We're already taking 1,000 products. And what she said to me, I'll never forget. Her mom had just passed away from cancer. And she said, you know what? I don't have a huge health story with this. She goes, it wasn't life-changing for me. She said, but I'm okay not knowing what I never get. She said, if we're literally talking about tuning our genes away from disease, and my mom died from cancer, she's like, if this is doing anything to help me with that, she goes, I'm all in. And I couldn't argue that. I had no defense against that at all. So she ordered for me. I relented. She placed the order. Starting on the products, my husband and I had we thought we were feeling great. Bottom line, we didn't know how bad we were feeling until we were feeling good, right? And it was a couple weeks for us, and it was a huge change. And I won't get into all that, but it was substantial. Enough that I started sharing with people, my friends, my clients. We have a 63 stall horse barn here in Michigan, a pretty large group of people around us. And I started telling everybody what we had been experiencing and sending them to Deanna. And she's like, you are really stupid because you're already doing the business. Why don't you get paid? And I kept saying no. And what got me to be a distributor was one of the friends I referred to her had such great experience. She wanted to be a distributor. And so Deanna basically said, listen, you already have someone that would be on your team, because I'll put her on your team, or she can just be on my team and I'll just, we'll just go with it. So I relented again. She signed me up. This was in August of 2018. I was a customer since May. So a few months had gone by. I did nothing. She enrolled me. I did nothing. I had a couple customers. But then I went to global in October of 2018. And I wanted to learn. I wanted to hear the science. I wanted to listen to the doctors. I wanted to, I love being a student. I wanted to go take notes and learn more about the stuff that we were taking. And I saw people going up on stage, you guys, like the Amish community and grandmas and just regular people. And they were earning like 6 figures a year. And I was like, what, if they can do this, I can do this, but I didn't have a why. And so I was praying about it, and I was praying about it, sitting there the first day of global. I'm full confession, you guys. The first day of global, I messaged my husband and I said, I sat there cross-armed, like you should hear their story about me. And I texted my husband and I said, I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I said, I need the meat. I want to hear the doctors. I'm like, it's all this fluff and this motivational. And I'm like, so I was really frustrated at first. But the next day, you guys, I'm seeing all these rank advancements happening. And I'm like, okay, I see the possibility, but why? We could live on my husband's income if we wanted to. I didn't have to keep coaching, but I'm not one to sit and not do anything. But we teach our kids to be content. And I was like, I don't need $1 million. I don't want our kids to think that you need a different house or a different car. We preach that in our home. And so I'm like, what's it going to look like if I take on one more thing? I didn't mention, I'm sorry, we own 3 businesses. Okay. My husband's a contractor, self-employed. I have my coaching and training. We have the barn that runs, 63 stalls out there. My husband also farms, and he's a firefighter. So we have a lot of irons in the fire. So when this was coming to me, I was like, I don't want or need one more thing to do. But as I'm sitting there going, why would I do this? What would be my reason? What would I tell my kids? Why would I take on something else? And Dr. Brett Brimhall got on stage, and you may have heard me share this. So I'm sorry if I'm repeating this and you've already heard it. But one of the things Dr. Brett said when he finished his talk was, he said, we need a lot of people making a lot of money so we can go help a lot of people. And I was in tears. I had goosebumps. I texted my husband right then and there, and I was like, I drank the Kool-Aid. I'm all in. I'm going to change our lives. And he was like, you go, girl. That was his response. He's been my biggest cheerleader ever since. But I realized then it was God was like, listen, I'm glad you're content. I'm glad you're grateful. But what will you do with more? Who will you serve? Where will you give? What can you do? And I was like, this is so not about me. I'm sitting there thinking it's all me. I don't need this. But I was like, oh my gosh, we could change people's lives. So I came home, I had 100 names on a list from global. I did the ITT system. I did a lot wrong, I'm sure, but we grew really fast that first year. We hit Pro 6. I came back, we had a team, we flew, and then we stopped. And I sat at Pro 6 for 2.5 years, and I was dying. So I thought when 6 hit, here comes 7. My son wants that Jeep so bad. And I'm like, oh, 7's coming, baby. Here we go. And it was 2.5 years, you guys. But I'll tell you what, I was nowhere near ready to be a leader as a Pro 7, not even close. So someone in my Bible study said, I've learned to let my waiting room be my classroom And I was like, that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to learn, and I'm going to like be super teachable and coachable how to lead a team. Brandon and Lynette Cunningham have been absolutely amazing. I've been so thankful, but he helped me flip the switch on a couple things, and we closed that gap, and here we are.
I love it. You being so busy and then hitting 7, like how do you work the business into your schedule?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I didn't think I could. That was one of my biggest reasons not to take on something else, was the time. But I will tell you, there were a couple things. First of all, we were super busy. And I know we hear people say all the time, that's a reason to actually do this, is to create some of that time freedom. And some people hate their jobs, and some people love their jobs. Some people don't have a job and they need a job. I loved my job. I love teaching and coaching these kids. I've done it for over 30 years. To me, it's like my mission field. But I love my family more. And I was gone from spring until fall, traveling to horse shows all the time. And when I didn't have kids, that was awesome. But when I had kids, I'm like, I can't keep doing this. Like, I love it, but I love them and I want to be with them. So I found a way to literally, I don't always love it when people say they fit in the nooks and crannies, but I mean, honestly, that's what I did. Like, I'm doing invites in the parking lot of the grocery store. I'm doing my follow-ups in the driveway before I walk in the house. Honestly, I wish I could tell you that like I get up in the morning, and before we start homeschooling, I set my alarm, and I do this business from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. It's not me. You guys, you know who Sarah Harding is? You guys all know who Sarah is? Okay, Sarah is like the master of time management, right? Like, oh, I was so envious of her. We got to be really good friends. And I was like, I want to be like Sarah. Like she's like, Holly, set a timer and man it. And I'm like, it doesn't work with our lifestyle. It just doesn't with the farm and our business. So, I mean, Tanya, I really do fit it in where I can. I'm a master inviter. I don't have a ton of strengths, but I'll tell you what I'm good at: inviting and following up. I'm a master inviter, and I'm huge on follow-up. So if I'm going to sit and do invites, I do a lot of invites, but I literally do it. Sometimes I'm just sitting in my car. And I know that sounds crazy.
No, it doesn't, and I love when you say, when I do an invite, I do a lot of invites, because it's so true. When you're in it, you have this little momentum in that moment where you're just on, and you might as well do as many as you can in that moment, because it doesn't take a lot of time to fit that in between your schedule. But when you say you're really good at invites, give us an invite. Like, what's like your go-to?
Oh, super short. And that's something I've learned over the years. The shorter the invite, the better, in my opinion. I won't tell anybody how to do your invites. Mine is literally like, if I have a relationship with somebody, and I always build that first, right? My warm market got used up in the first 2 years. So I had to figure out this whole cold market thing. And there's different ways to do it. For me, I had to do it building relationships. That's just what felt good to me. So once I feel like I've had a relationship with someone, it's literally like, hey, I've got something I've been learning about. I think you'd love it. Are you open to taking a look? It's that short. I don't tell them what it is ever. I don't answer their questions. They asked me a question. I said, let me share a video with you. It'll explain it way better than I can. And I get out of that, trying to answer the questions and being the expert, and just share the tools. We have a wellness community. I put them in our wellness community. But in my opinion, the shorter the invite, the quicker you can be. To me, I get more response that way than trying to lay it all out there.
I love it. And then what about your follow-up? How many times or how often do you do that?
So I like the follow-up question, because I literally just told Brandon this today. One of my distributors, and I can tell you who she is because she won't care. Dr. Phaedra, she's new Pro 5. Love her. She's a friend of mine. She's a chiropractor. Her horse is in my barn. Like, I just love her to death. But I will tell you what, she's 3 years in, and she still tells me every week she'll invite someone and then message me that day going, they ghosted me. I'm like, girl, they didn't ghost you. You messaged them at like 10 a.m. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They haven't ghosted you yet. They're just busy, right? And so the follow-up is always, hey, I hope you got my message. I know life is busy. If this isn't interesting to you, no worries either way. Just let me know. Always give them an out. I always tell them, no worries either way. This may or may not be for you. No, I'm doing it with or without you. I'd love to share it with you. I don't say it that way, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my point. Doesn't hinge on their approval. So yeah, and I, again, my follow-ups too are super short. I always assume positive intent. I think that's so important. So where Dr. Fader's assuming she's being ghosted, I finally told her last week, I said, listen, you should never expect a response. You should expect to be ghosted. If somebody actually responds to you, now you've got something you can work with, but don't expect it. Most people are busy and they may not respond, and that's okay. But if your expectation is that when you invite someone, they're going to just respond back to you, like that's abnormal. To me, that's abnormal. Most people take forever to get back to you, or if they do, maybe it's not what you wanted to hear. But I just always find it funny that all these years in, she just wears her feelings. She has big feelings and big, like she loves people. And she's just like, well, who would do that? Like, I asked him this morning, like, why wouldn't he get back to me? I'm like, because they're busy. So give it some time. I give it a day and then I follow up, and, so I just had someone, not to go on, but let me tell you one more thing. We went up to a B&B in Northern Michigan in May, and the host of the B&B has 2 autistic grandkids. And she was just like, I felt like it was a God thing. They connected us. Her daughter was there. They were so excited about the information. And she's like, my daughter should do this with you. We need our grandkids on the products. And she was so excited. Nothing happened. Followed it. Nothing happened. And she kept wanting, she was going to come when Brandon was here. She was going to drive 2.5 hours when Brandon came, and she just never made it. But she's like, I'm coming to that event. Nothing. We went back up again to the B&B with friends just a couple weeks ago. And I wasn't going to pursue more than saying, hey, if you ever want to talk more, let me know. She came to me and she goes, listen, I know you're here with friends, but can you take a little time this weekend and can we just like sit together so you can answer? And I'm like, absolutely. And so I got up early the next morning. So it was just her and I, answered some questions. She was like, I know ABC, all these people have to do this business with me. And she's not like a talker. I mean, she's a sincere, like some people just talk to talk. This is a sincere, like a businesswoman. So I took her at her word. It's all excited. I come back, I don't hear from her. So my point is, today I reached out again. You want to talk about ghosting? Like, I left there 2 weeks ago with her saying, I need to know how to sign up. And I've got 3 people I know want to do it, to like, I can't get her to even text me or message me back, like not a word. So finally today I said, listen, Darcy, like, we love you. And I want you to know, like, if you don't want to do this, like if you're being polite, I love you for that. But I love you if you don't even do the business with us. We're coming back to your B&B. I don't want it to be weird. So, just let me know what way you want this to go. I'm okay no matter what. Like, let her off the hook, right? Because if there's that feeling of guilt if you don't respond, then too much time goes by and then it just feels awkward, and let him off the hook. Just be like, hey, we're friends regardless. Do it or don't. But let's just like let me know, right? So
Yeah.
that was a little weird situation today, but that's how I handled it.
I love it. Let them off the hook. And you can tell that you just let your authenticity come through as well, and just make it known. It's not a sales pitch with you. And I love that. What would you say, Holly, to people right now? I know there's some on our team that just feel so discouraged by the no's and are wondering, they know that they have it in them to hit the next rank. They know that they have it in them to lead a team, but they just can't find the next people.
Yeah, that is the hard part of the business. And the only answer I have to that is, and I don't know, for each of you personally, I don't know how many people you're inviting in a day or in a week. It has to be a lot of numbers, right? Like, I know people that hinge a lot on one person's response and one person's answer, and they put so much stock into what they say. And if that person says no, they're like, well, no one's going to say yes. And they just you have to literally let that just roll off you. I don't care if you get 1,000 no's, that one yes, that next one that you get can be your Pro 7. You just don't know. You guys, I was not a nice person. I don't say it. I wasn't like mean and rude, but I mean, I was not an easy person for Stacy and Deanna to bring into this business. Like, I was very standoffish. Even when Stacy would come to Michigan, I wouldn't even go. She'd come for her team and I wouldn't even go see her. Like, I was too busy. I was too busy to run the business. Like, I had my own business I was running, and it wasn't going to be this one. So you really have to practice, figure out what it means to be resilient. If Your why is big enough. It won't matter how many no's you get, you will keep going. And I'm going to use Stacy as an example of this. I just talked to Brandon about this today. This is so important, I think, to hear this. When Stacy King enrolled, she did not have a team, you guys, for 2 years. For 2 years, this woman went to every single event. She never missed an event. She was told not to miss them, so she didn't. She traveled alone, no team, not a single person with her to every single event for close to 2 years before she finally had someone on her team. And now she enrolled Deanna. Deanna enrolled me. I'm Pro 7. She's got obviously Pro 7 volume, but I threw a little off balance. But you guys, she stuck with it. And if she had quit, if you're Stacy and you quit because you've got so many no's, if Stacy had quit, everybody on my team wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. So I can't even, I get brought to tears thinking if she had just given up. It was too hard, but her why was so strong. She wanted to be home with her kids. She did not want to have to go work outside her home. And so she stuck with it, even though it sucked. It sucked for 2 years. She was like, am I ever going to make this work? Then if I can go on for just a minute more, Tanya, I'm sorry. I told you I'll get to be a talker. You guys are going to be like, you're going to be stopped. Here's the opposite of that. I have someone else on my team. She's been doing this for probably close to 3 years. She's a Pro 4. Love her. She's genuine. Her heart is gold. But she just, every month, I'm talking her off the ledge every single month. Every single month is, I don't know if I'll ever be successful at this. I don't know if I'm ever going to make it. I don't know if I'm ever going to have a team that's going to work for me. And I'm like, you know what? Like, you're not going to find those people because you don't even know yet. For her language to still be, I don't know. Well, the people you're inviting know that you don't know. Like if where Stacy was like, I'm making this work. I don't care what it takes. And so she finally found those people. But even though this distributors are Pro 4, she's had some success. She's had a team that's, they're not doing a whole lot, but she knows what it's like to be in some momentum and grow, pretty quick to Pro 4. And she still questions every day. She doesn't have spousal support. It's hard when you don't have family supporting you. And I know that makes a big difference, but it's a huge contrast. Stacy was all in, regardless of what anybody else did. She was going to find a way to make this work. This other distributor on my team she's still, after 3 years, she's still trying to make it up, decide in her head, is she all in or not? She doesn't know that. She thinks she's all in, but she's not. When I get texts with her saying all the time, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. I don't know if this is ever going to pan out. I don't know if I'm going to make the income that I need. I'm like, everyone you're inviting gets that same vibe from you. You can't hide that. That whole fake it thing, I don't believe that. I don't think you can fake it. People are smart. They're going to know. So be all in regardless of your results so far. And if you've grown and then you like plateaued, hello, 2.5 years. I sat there. We didn't go backwards, thank the Lord. Like I never didn't hold my Pro 6, but man, we sat the same volume for like 2 years. It was brutal.
I love that. Go all in regardless of what your results are. That's so good. The last thing I want to ask you, Holly, is when Stacy, did you ever tell Stacy no? Did you tell her flat out no, but she kept following up anyway?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Like you guys wait for my talk at Global. Yeah, they asked me, I'm going to throw up. Like, forgive me. I am seriously like, I'm in the grocery store sick to my stomach thinking, oh my God, I got to talk at Global. I am going to die. And I teach, I give clinics. Like I love that, but it's what I'm used to for 30 years. This is totally different. But anyways, I'll talk more about that at Global, but yes, I said no. I said no a lot.
Wow.
I had a ton of excuses.
So yeah, that goes to show Stacy was all in and she really believed in you.
Stacy and Deanna both, they kind of tag teamed on me, so since Stacy's kind of our grandma, right? I call her Mama D because she enrolled me.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's myself, and you should see their messages. Deanna would send her messages going, oh my gosh, like, I don't even know how to respond to this anymore. Because I was asking all the really hard questions and giving her all the resistance and stuff you guys have all heard. Like I said all those things. So yeah, just stick with it because lives are hinging on you not giving up. And if you can keep telling yourself it's not about you, it's about who needs, and I pray about it all the time, Lord, who needs to hear this? Like, who are we supposed to reach out to? Like, I know people need to hear, and I get no's all the time. People think I'm crazy. Like, we do that thing. We get that a lot, but that's okay. My thing is, changed my life and a lot of other people's lives. So I'm okay with them thinking I'm crazy.
I love it. Okay. This is truly the last thing. Collagen. Like, don't you believe right now with what's happening? We have a new Pro 10. We've got new elites coming out of the ranks. Like, now is the time, wouldn't you say? Like, if ever someone was questioning if they should go and work through the fear, now would be the time.
Now is definitely the time. And the collagen has been amazing. Like, I was a brat. I was like, why are we doing collagen? Ugh, like everyone has collagen, blah. And then I had no idea. I mean, the company never disappoints me. I should have known. But not only is the time right now from a company standpoint, in my opinion, the time is right now for what people need. Brandon was just talking about, and I'm not a doomsday person. Like, I'm very glass half full personality, but the reality is the economy stinks right now, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. And that means people are going to have a hard time paying their mortgage, paying their car payments. Like, job security isn't there, right? They need what we have. And so not only is the company in the right place at the right time with what we have and the momentum that they have, we have what people need. And I'm seeing that, because the shift that Brandon helped me make was, I was enrolling that bonus pool every month, the 5 for 500 that they were doing. I never missed that. Lynette and Brandon were doing that before the company started it. I never missed it ever. I'm way too competitive. That's not going to and there was no reward for that. We got like a Facebook medal. I mean, for Lynette, it wasn't like you were earning anything, but it was like, it's building my business. I'm going to go. You guys, I hit that every single month for probably close to 2 years, because they did it for quite a while before corporate started doing it. And I never missed it one time, not 1 month. My business stayed the same. We maintained, maybe we grew a little bit. And Brandon finally looked at me, and because I was whining. I'm like, how hard I work. I'm doing this. Like, what I'm doing every month. And he's like, Brandon's good, you guys. He won't give his opinion unless you ask for it. I love that about him. And I said, what do I have to do? And he said, Holly, let me ask you one question. How many of those enrollments you have every month are customers, and how many are distributors? That was a big ouch, because I'll tell you, almost every single one that I enrolled, I had distributors every now and then, but almost every single one of those enrollments were customers. And he laid out the ideal number, the percentage of enrollments that you want to be distributors versus customers. And when he did that, it just flipped a switch in my brain. I was like, I'm doing so much work and enrolling these customers. I'm getting that bonus money, but I'm not getting closer to Pro 7. So when he said that, and I started to teach the team that, oh my gosh, we need to be at these percentages of a distributor enrollment to customer. You need both, but you need those business partners. And when I went from distributor to Pro 6, you guys, it was with business partners. I wasn't right. I came home and shared the business with my friends and my family and other people that wanted to listen. And then suddenly I got comfortable, and it was more about customers. Customers are easier, way easier to share customer stuff than try to go the business. I had to make that switch. And once I did, and my team did, that gap to 7 closed so fast. Brandon said it was going to happen. I didn't believe him. This today on the phone, I said, I can't believe how much we were up last month after a good month the month before. He goes, what do you mean? I told you it was going to happen. What do you mean you don't believe me? Like, I know your percentage. Like, and I'm like, I still didn't believe it. So
what's the percentage?
So ideally 20% distributor to customer enrollment. That is you're growing at 20%. You are growing like that. That's rank advancement numbers right there. 10%, 10% is borderline. 10% is good. You want to be at least a 10% distributor to customer enrollment percentage, like ratio. But 20%, if you and your team can be at that 20%, even 15%, that's huge. And I'll tell you, I wasn't even close. It was so much easier for me to invite people to our wellness community and learn about the products and the health benefits. And that's so important, but we need more people doing that. So I needed to go after business partners.
Love it.
And the team got on board. We did a group of runners. We grabbed like 6 people that wanted to run, and we did a 90-day run. In that 90 days, in 60 days, I hit Pro 7. I grew more in 2 months than I had grown in a couple of years.
Just by focusing on business.
Making that shift and getting your team to make the shift. They'll
So
follow.
you weren't asking people about products anymore. If they want to try the products, you were going straight for, I think you're amazing. Have you ever thought about?
I did. I asked current customers if they'd ever think about, joining my team. I looked for people that were business owners. I'm a homeschool mom, so looking for other homeschool moms that might want another income. All the stuff I did in the beginning, I had just kind of stopped doing. I don't know why I don't know why I stopped doing that part, but I did. And I didn't realize it till Brandon finally told me. So I was spinning my wheels. So, but again, I wasn't ready to be 7. I'm still learning what Pro 7 looks like, but definitely be bold about the business, learn to be bold, but genuine about the business. And I think you'll see I know it's not easy. I get if you're like Pro 1, Pro 2, Pro 3, but I'm not making Pro 5 income or Pro 6. It's okay. The comp plan is that we know what it pays, and we know, right? We're publicly traded. You don't have to be making the money. Just share the comp plan highlights. People will see it. Share that income earning statement, let people see it. You don't have to be there yourself. Plenty of people are already there. So just share that and use, oh my God, I'm going to talk so long. I'm so sorry. There's so much to share. You guys use the team. I'm thinking of all the things that Brandon really poured into us over the last 90 days. And the other thing was I had to get really good at, you have to use the team and the ITT. I hated 3-way calls. It just made me cringe. I just wasn't comfortable. And once I got over that, I started connecting people for those third-party calls or Zooms. It's where the magic happened. And I don't know how to stop doing that now. I cannot wait to get somebody to get on a call with Brandon or someone crossliners. I cannot wait to plug them in, because that's what seals the deal. It's huge. Find who you love for third-party validation and make that happen. That was a game changer for us. And my team, they started to do that. And I was like, this is fantastic. Just fantastic.
I love it. So many good nuggets, Holly. That was so good. Thank you for just pouring into us.
I'm
Really,
sorry.
really
I know you tried to
good.
keep a time limit. I told you.
No, stop it. No, it was for your benefit, for your sake. I wanted to keep the time. So I just appreciate you. I cannot wait to see you walk on stage. It's such a moment. So it's going to be and a global, way to go. That's a big stage. So congratulations.
Thank you. I'll be in my tennis shoes. I will not be in a dress and heels. That is not me. So I told corporate, I said, listen, I'll be in my Converse. That's me. And that'll help me not pass out, I hope. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, well, thank you again. We really appreciate you. And
you're very welcome. Always happy to help. If anyone has questions, I'm more than happy to try to help answer them. So
awesome.
Is it Brandy? Someone have a question? I see a hand raised. Is that for me? Or is that?
Oh, she's clapping.
Okay. Oh, good. Good. I just don't want to jump off and miss a question or something.
Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah. Does anybody have a question before she goes? Oh, Vicky, go ahead.
I do have a question. Hey, do you use the products in your horse, your boarding business, your animal business?
So it's funny because people kind of know me as the horse person. And I do have a distributor who grew to Pro 5 with a lot of horse customers. I have not really taken this business very far out into I don't know why it's I don't do a big crossover. All my horses are on it. My horses are on the products. They compete, they work hard, they're on it. And we do have a handful of customers out there with their horses on the products as well. But out of 60 plus horses on my farm, I'll bet you there's 6 or 7 horses on the product. Because I think it's hard for people to see me instead of being the horse trainer expert. They're like, what do you know about health and wellness? Right? It's hard. It's like family. It's hard to bridge that gap. So I'm hoping to spread that out there a little bit more.
Yeah, girl, if you bridge that gap, that's Pro 8 right there.
Right? I'm like,
yeah.
It's there. If I could just get them to they still in my barn. The ones that don't see it still think I'm the crazy health person, because our managers, they don't eat healthy. And I'm always bringing them, my protein bars and an Axio, and they're drinking Red Bull, and I'm like, you guys are killing me.
I love it. All right. Thanks again, Holly. We
All right.
appreciate you.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Be a
Have a good
global.
night. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Real quick, you guys. Oh gosh, what a blessing she was. I just really want to congratulate and shout out the September Performance Club people: Gloria Brinker, Dan Desmond, Jen Dykstra, Kim Farniak, Sally Ketchum, Laura Nowicki, Christy Spaniel, Katie Mao, Joyce Wood, and then Vale Valley Wellness. So congratulations to all of you. And then again to Kim Farniak, I'm going to tag you. She hit Pro 3, and I'm telling you that that girl is on fire. She had 8 enrollments in August and then 9 last month in September. And she just doesn't think about it. She just keeps sharing. And then for the rest, everything this week, there's no longer a Thursday night opportunity Zoom. They just weren't having a good amount of people show up to that. So there are some different things taking place this week, and they're all focused on collagen and Nerf 2. I posted those on Team Act. So just really make sure you either check Team Act Telegram or Team Act Facebook on a Monday, because I'll post all the announcements, but it is pin post, everything going on this week. And then the last big thing is the POs are doing a special incentive right now until October 10th. If you enroll in Elite Pack distributor, or you yourself purchase an Elite Pack, which you can do, a customer could purchase an Elite Pack, a current customer, or even a distributor. You just have to call in to do that. And when you do it, even if you're already a distributor, you'll get all the LVAs free. You'll get the global, you'll get a ticket for the next event, all the things. But if you do that up until the 10th, they will give you an extra 30-day supply of collagen that is shipped to you from the post. You just need to make sure that you email Sean and let him know about that. And do you know why they're doing it? Have you all heard? They are running after Pro 10 this month. Pro 10. So the big thing about that is, if you heard the Monday morning call this morning, Tara Wilson was on there. And for Tara Wilson to hit Pro 10, every time a Pro 10 comes out of this company, it is so huge for our company. Like, it's known when you have new distributors like that, especially someone like Tara that came from another company, like she's getting messages from other companies. Like, it just brings more awareness to LifeVantage. It is good for all of us. And it just, again, goes to show what is happening with collagen. Like, momentum is happening. And my prayer is for all of you to not be sitting back asking, why isn't this happening for me? And just watching everybody else succeed, but to take what you feel from what they're doing and focus on you, and don't waste this opportunity right now of what we have. And so with the pose going after Pro 10, Tara had over 600 rank advancements in her organization last month, over 600. Okay. So that means the pose cannot get to Pro 10 just by focusing on the pose. That means they want to focus on all of us. So if ever you wanted to just go all out, balls to the wall in October, and go after a big goal and be a squeaky wheel and do Zooms and go back and talk to people like you never have before, because you're just going to pour yourself in it, now is the time. Every single action you take not only incentivizes you and works towards you, it helps other people. And then we get to be a part of a Pro 10 organization, and that's pretty stinking cool, right? It just is something that brings such a phenomenal energy. Imagine all of us being at an event celebrating the pose on stage, right? Oh. Whew. Yeah, let's grow. That's right, let's grow. So that is their big goal this month. And I just want you to think now about, how could you push yourself outside your comfort zone this month? How could you make yourself feel all the heebie-jeebies, the fear? What does that look like for you? What rank is it? Or how many people does it mean that you talk to per day? Whatever it means that makes you scared, I want you to go after that this month. I want you to scare yourself enough, but work through the fear anyway, and just see how it makes you feel going into global convention. It'll make you feel on cloud 9, you guys. So let's all do this together. I proclaimed Pro 8 and I cried my eyes out when I did it. I did it on the leadership Zoom and everybody and Maria and Carrie were on there and Maria was like, I think you have a money block. I'm like, I used to have a money block. Absolutely. I don't anymore. Like, I want you guys to believe this too. Like, I don't have any blocks. Like I'm really ready. I'm really ready. Like I'm ready for it. I just need to be patient for it. And I think if you're really ready for it, we just have to continue to let God know. But the emotion for me comes from when it really happens. Oh my gosh. See, Jean, I told you. There's a lot of tears always. But that just means all of us rising up together. It's like, it's the domino effect. The pros can't get there on their own. So that means all these rank advancements happening on their team. I can't get to Pro 8 on my own. That means all these rank advancements happening on my team. You can't get to where you're going to go on your own. That means you rank advancing and bringing new people in and you're going to change their life. Like it's this beautiful domino effect that's crazy. And it's not going to happen without us bringing in and continuing to talk to people, just like Holly said. So I want you to really feel it and get into it because it's going to be a really crazy month and there's going to be a lot happening, but please don't let it stress you out. Please look at it when you can and take it and allow it to just excite you for your benefit, your family, and your goals and what you want for your future. And let go of the comparison thing and let go of beating yourself up. Please stop beating yourself up and let yourself enjoy this journey because you deserve it. Okay. Okay. Let's pray and we'll call it a night. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for Holly and just the gifts that you've given her and the fact that she said yes and she's become a part of this amazing company. And thank you for blessing her with the success she's had. And Lord, you know, everyone on this team, like we're all looking for that same kind of feeling, that same kind of success, that same kind of a personal momentum. Lord, I just pray everyone that's watching this or watching it back can just open themselves up, completely open themselves up and place their control at your feet and really feel what it would be like to live truly in the skin of the person that you designed us to be and help us to walk in that every single day and do the things that scare us, but to just pour ourselves all in to really be in it, knowing exactly what it is that you've gifted us with this opportunity and with these products. Help us to not take it for granted. Help us to have no regrets and just help us to use it. Show us who to talk to, show us what to say, help us to know where to go. We give it all to you and we trust you and we let go of that control. We release it, Lord, and we are fully ready for whatever you have in store for us next. In your name we pray, amen. We're ready. Okay, ready. Love you guys. Thanks for being here. Have a good night. Bye.